Hi, my name is Angel and today I'll be showing you how I made this crocheted poncho. Here are the materials I used, and if you'd like to purchase one, I have it up on my Etsy, and I have a bunch of things on my Etsy if you'd like to check it out. The link is in the description. Okay, so to start the rows, I'm going to start by making a magic circle. So I'm going to hold the yarn right here, wrap it around my 2 fingers, and create an X. I'm going to hold that X, and then go under this first yarn, over, grab that other yarn, pull it through, then grab that yarn again and pull it through. Like that, and just pull the yarn a little. There we go. And then I'm going to chain 2. Right, then from here I am going to make 16 double crochets. So make a double crochet, loop over, in, loop over again, pull through 2, pull through 2. Again, loop over, in the circle, loop over again, pull through 2, pull through 2. One more time, loop over, insert to the circle, pull through 2, pull through 2. Right, and I just completed 3, and now I need 13 more. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Right, I just finished my 16 double crochets. Now that first chain that we did, that does not count as a double crochet. So I'm just count and make sure that I did 16. So not counting that first chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Perfect. Right. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that first double crochet. Then I'm going to chain 1 into that same first double crochet. I'm going to make a single crochet. So I'm going to insert, pull through 2. Also, I'm going to close my magic circle just by pulling the string. There you go. Alright, now we're going to start our second row by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip that next double crochet. Into the next one, we're going to make another single crochet. Insert, pull through 2. And then we're going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Skip the next stitch. Next one, single crochet, then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to continue that until we reach the end of the row. We're going to chain 3, skip 1, single crochet, chain 3, skip 1, single crochet. Chain 3, and then I'm going to slip stitch into that first single crochet we made. Okay. Now we should have 8 of these spaces. So let me count and make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Right, to start our third row, we're going to start by chaining 1. And then into this first space, we're going to make a single crochet. So insert, pull through 2. Into the next space, we're going to insert 6 double crochets. So loop over, insert, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 2. That's our first double crochet. We're going to do that 5 more times. to loop over, insert, pull through 2, pull through 2. After completing those 6 double crochets, we're going to put another single crochet into the next space. And then into the next space, we're going to do another 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then into the next space, we're going to do another single crochet. We're going to continue that pattern until we reach the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, I have just finished my last petal of 6. And now I am going to do a slip stitch into that first single crochet that we made. And that is the end of our 3rd row. To start our 4th row, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to flip our work. Now we'll be working in our 2nd row that we did previously, right here. So let me show you how we're going to do that. So we're going to put a single crochet under this. Let me show you. I'm going to insert a crochet hook underneath. And I'm not going through the yarn at all. I'm completely underneath it. Then pull through 2 for a single crochet. Then I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then go to the next one. Underneath. Pull through 2, and then chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Underneath, pull through 2, chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Underneath, pull through 2, chain 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to continue that until I reach the end. One, 2, 3. Okay, I've reached the end, so I'm going to go and do a slip stitch into that first single crochet that I made. And that is our 4th row, sorry. To start our 5th row, I'm going to chain 1 and flip our work again. And now I'll be working into these loops we just created. For the first space, I'm going to do 1 double crochet and then 5 treble crochets. So to do a treble crochet, I'm going to wrap around twice. 1, 2, insert, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. And that is a treble crochet. And I'm going to do that 4 more times. Wrap around twice, insert, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Wrap around twice, 1, 2, insert, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. And here's my 5 treble, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus my double crochet. Now I'm going to do 1 more double crochet, brown once, insert, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then we're going to go on to the next space. Right into this next space, we're going to do a single crochet, insert, pull through 2, And then we're going to go to the next space and do another petal with 1 double crochet, 5 treble crochets, and 1 more double crochet. So 1 double crochet, 5 treble crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 more double crochet. And that's the end of our second petal. And into the next space, we're going to do another single crochet. And we're going to continue that pattern until we reach the end. Here I'm finishing my last petal, the double crochet, and then I'm doing my last single crochet, and then I'm just going to find a space here at the end of our first petal to insert a slip stitch. Just find a space at the bottom of this petal. And that's the end of our 5th row. To start our 6th row, we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and work in these spaces right here from the 4th row that we did. So I'm going to put a single crochet right in here. And again, it's not going through the yarn, it's going underneath that little loop. Through, pull through 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Next space, underneath, pull through 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Next space, underneath, pull through 1, pull through 2, chain 3. Next space, underneath, pull through 1, pull through 2, chain 3. I'm going to continue that until I reach the end. One, 2, 3. Then I'll slip stitch into the first single crochet that I made. And that is the end of our 6th row. Then I will chain 1 and we will turn our work to start the 7th row. Now starting row 7, I'm going to start by doing a double crochet, and then 5 treble crochets, then 1 more double crochet, and now I'm going to do a slip stitch in that same opening. Now we're going to go on to the next space and do another double crochet, another 5 treble crochets, and then one more double crochet, then a slip stitch. Right, and that's my first 2 petals of row 7. I'm going to continue that in every space, not skipping any spaces this time, and we should end up with 8 petals. Right, I'm finishing up this last petal with my last slip stitch. And then I'm going to slip stitch at the bottom of the first petal that we made. I'm just going to find a space at the bottom. Slip stitch in there. Right, and then we're going to do our 8th and final row of the purple color. So I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and start doing our single crochets and chain 3s again. So I'm gonna go under, pull through, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, next space, under, pull through 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to continue that till I reach the end. Right, reach the end. I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet I made. Then I'm going to chain 1 and cut off. Okay, so now we're done making our flower portion, and we're going to start making our leaves. Now picking any of the little openings that we just made, I'm going to insert my green yarn. And double knot it. After that, I am going to turn our flower this way, insert our hook, grab the yarn, pull it through, and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and that will act as our first double crochet. Now I'm going to double crochet 2 more times. 1, 2, and then I'm going to chain 2. 1, 2. And working into that same space, I'm going to working into that same space, I'm going to double crochet 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to chain 1 into the next space. I'm going to put just 3 double crochets. And I'm also crocheting in this loose end. 1, 2, 3.
Then we chain again, just one chain. Then we go to the next space and insert 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then do 2 chains, 1, 2, and into that same space, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to continue that pattern. We start off in our first hole, 3 double crochets, 2 chains, 3 more double crochets all in one hole, then chain 1, then our next space, 3 double crochets, then chain 1, then our next space, 3 double crochets, 2 chains, 3 more double crochets all in the same one. We're going to continue that pattern. So chain 1, and our next space we're going to do just 3 double crochets, and we'll be hiding this loose end in there too. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and 3 crochets, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and just 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, and chain 1. Okay. And this is our last space for 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Now I'm going to slip stitch into this first chain 3 that we did at the top. Okay. And that is the end of our leaves layer. And now we can see the granny square start to take shape. Everywhere we did the 3 double crochets plus the 2 chains, 3 more double crochets, that's the corner of the granny square. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. Now I am going to chain 1 and cut the green yarn. Now I'm starting the first row using the white yarn. I picked one of the corners to tie it off in, so you can pick any one of the corners, and then I double knotted it. Then I turned my work and insert the crochet hook and start by bringing it through and chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do 2 double crochets. So wrap over, insert, pull through 2, pull through 2. Again, wrap over, insert, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then just like we did before on the corner, chain 2. 1, 2, then inserting into the same opening and doing another 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then chain 1 and go to the next space where we'll put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, then chain 1 again, and into the next space do another 3 double crochets. 1,
2, 3, then chain 1 again, and we're at our next corner, so we're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and another 3 double crochets, all in that same corner space. So my first 3 double crochets, then chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Right, and then we're going to continue this pattern until we reach the end. Now I'm doing my final 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now chain 1 and then slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 that we made. Now we're going to slip stitch up the corner until we get to the chain 2 space. Now I'm going to do a slip stitch into the space and then chain 3. One, 2, 3, and then do 2 double crochets because that chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, then chain 2, then do 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, 3, then chain 1, then do 3 double crochets into the next space, 1, 2, 3, then chain 1 and do another 3 double crochets into the next space, 1, 2, 3, then chain 1 again and another 3 double crochets into the next space, 2, 3, then chain 1, and now we're at our next corner where we're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, then 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, 3, then chain 2, and then 3 more. Now we're going to continue this pattern for the next 5 rows, including the row that we're still on. So then we'll have a total of 6 rows of white. Here's what the 6 rows look like when they're finished. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 openings, which means 6 rows. And here's what the finished granny square looks like. Now we're going to need to make 5 more of these squares. Here's what all 6 granny squares look like, all finished. And now I'm going to show you how we're going to stitch them together. Firstly, both the front and the back are going to be using 3 granny squares in these V shapes. And to attach them, we're going to be single crocheting on each side. And I'm going to make sure that all my loose ends are on the sides where I'm going to be single crocheting so that I can crochet in those loose ends. So I'm going to start with 2 granny squares at a time. I'm going to fold them together like this, with the right sides facing out, and the right side is where the flowers are. As you can see, we are starting with the flowers facing out on both sides. And we're going to start in the corners. And we are going to match up the corners so we make sure that all of the stitches are in the same spot, front and back. Then I'm going to tie in my purple yarn. and double knot it. Now I'm going to take my crochet hook, insert it, pulling through the purple yarn, then chaining 1, and then inserting a single crochet into that same space. Now we're going to start single crocheting all the way until we reach the other side. I'm going to start by doing a single crochet into the tops of all of these double crochets, and I'm making sure to go through both the front and the back, making sure that the double crochets match. So I just did a single crochet at the top of the first double crochet. Now I'm doing it at the top of the second double crochets, and now I'm going to do it into the third double crochets. Then I also put a single crochet into the chain 1. So I'm inserting it into both the chain 1s and doing a single crochet. So as we go down the row, you will put a single crochet at the top of all the double crochets as well as all of the chain 1s. Here's a better image of me putting the single crochet into the chain 1s. As you can see, I'm actually inserting them through, not just going under. And I am also crocheting in the loose ends, as you can see. Here's what it will start to look like. And now I'm finishing the last couple single crochets, inserting into the top of the last 3 double crochets. Then once I reach that corner space, I'm just going to do 1 more single crochet into the corner space. Right, then I'm going to chain 1 and cut. And that's our first one done. Right, that's what it looks like all done. Then I'm going to complete this side, and this side, and then we are going to attach the 2 sides on that side and that side the same way. Right, here I am finishing off the second side of the one we just did, and we're going to finish this one a little bit differently. Here I am doing my final single crochet into the spaces, into both corner spaces. And to finish this off, since it is a corner piece where both rows touch each other, we're going to slip stitch into the last single crochet that we did on the other row. Then chain 1 and cut. Here's what the front side looks like completed, and we're going to recreate that on the back side. Right, here's what both sides look like completed, and now we're going to attach them. And just like before, we're going to single crochet up on the front side, so both of the flowers on either side are going to be facing out. And here's what it looks like when they're all attached to each other. Next, we're going to make a row of single crochets at the top of the poncho around the neck. Also, make sure that you leave your yarn attached. As you can see, mine is still attached. Also, I forgot to mention it before, but you want to do your single crochets up towards the neck. If you didn't do that, it's okay. You're just gonna have to cut your yarn and reattach it. But since I did mine up to where the neck part is, I'm just gonna keep that attached right there, and we're gonna continue from there and do a row of single crochets all around the neck. Now I'm going to chain 1 and then do a single crochet into the top of that first double crochet. I'm skipping that open space at the corner, and I'm just going straight into doing single crochets at the top of all the double crochets and into all of the chain 1 spaces. And I'm going to continue that until we get to the center of the front of the top, and I'll show you what to do there. Now we're at the center of the poncho. This is where all 3 of the granny squares meet up. And to finish it off right here, I'm going to do my last single crochet on top of that last double crochet. Then I'm going to go into the center where the 2 rows of purple single crochets meet up. I'm going to insert my hook and do a slip stitch. Then I'm going to reach all the way over to the other side to the top of the first double crochet and insert another single crochet. Then I'll just continue single crocheting all the way until I get to the side, and I'll show you what to do there. Now I've reached the other side of the poncho. I'm going to do my last single crochet into that last double crochet, and then I'm going to slip stitch at the first single crochet of this row of purple. And then I'm going to reach over to the first double crochet and do a single crochet at the top. Then I'm going to continue my single crochets all the way till I reach the center back of the poncho. Now I've reached the center back of the poncho, just doing my last single crochet into the top of the last double crochet right there. Then I'm going to insert a slip stitch into the center like I did before, going in between the purple and the white. Then after my slip stitch, I'm going to reach over to the other side where the first double crochet is, and then insert a single crochet at the top. And then I will continue doing single crochets until I reach the end. Now I've reached the end of my row, so I'm going to do my last 2 single crochets at the top of the last 2 double crochets, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch into that last single crochet right there. Right now I'm going to show you what it looks like on at this point, and I'm making sure to leave my yarn still attached because we're going to use it for the next row. Here's what it looks like on. As you can see, the neck hole is way too big. So what we're going to start to do is decrease it up towards the neck, and then we're going to add a turtleneck. So after doing our chain 1, we're going to churn our work. Then we're going to start our first decrease. So inserting into the first single crochet, I'm going to pull through 1, then I'm going to go to the next single crochet and pull through another 1. Then I should have 3 loops on my hook, then I'm going to pull through all 3, and that is our first decrease. Then we're going to start doing half double crochets. So we're going to wrap over once, insert into the next single crochet. So again, we're wrapping over once, then inserting it through, pulling through, try it again, insert, pull through, we should have 3 loops, and then we're going to pull through all 3. So again, to do a half double crochet, you wrap it around, insert, pull through. There should be 3 loops on your hook and you pull through all 3, and that is a half double crochet. So loop over, insert, pull through all 3. And we're going to continue doing those half double crochets until we reach the next corner. Right here, here's what it looks like. That's our center front. And there we're going to do our next decreases. Now I've reached the corner and I'm doing the last double crochet before we do our decrease. So we're going to need to do the 2 single crochets right before the slip stitch that we did in the center. So those 2 single crochets before the slip stitch that we did are where we're going to do the decrease. So we're going to insert to the first one, pull through, then insert to the one next to it, pull through, and then we're going to pull through all 3. And then we're going to do one more decrease. Now we're going to skip that center slip stitch that we did to attach everything. We're going to skip that, and we're going to go into the first single crochet and then into the second single crochet to do our next decrease. So inserting into the first, pull through, insert into the second, pull through, and then pull through all 3. Then we're going to continue our half doubled crochets. And we're going to continue the half double crochets until we reach the next corner, which is just the side of the poncho. Now I'm reaching the side of the poncho where we will do 2 more decreases. And again, for the decreases, we're going to decrease into the last 2 single crochets that are before the slip stitch that we made. So here's the last 2 single crochets that are before the slip stitch that we made to attach that row of single crochets. So I'm going to insert into the first one, pull through, insert into the second one, pull through, then pull through all 3, and that's our first decrease. Then I'm going to skip that slip stitch, and then into the first single crochet after that slip stitch, I'm going to do the decrease. So inserting into the first single crochet, pull through, into the next single crochet, pull through, then pull through all 3, and that is our second decrease. And then we're going to continue again our half double crochets until we reach the center back of the poncho. Here I am at the center back of the poncho, and again we're going to do our 2 decreases at the last 2 single crochets before and after the slip stitch. So insert 1, insert 2, pull 2 through all 3, skipping that slip stitch, inserting into the first single crochet, pull through, second single crochet, pull through, then pull through all 3. And then we're going to continue our half double crochets until we reach the end. Now I'm reaching the end, and since we started with a decrease, we're going to end with a decrease. So I'm just doing my last few half double crochets, and then on the last 2 single crochets left, I'm going to do my decrease. See, 1, 2. Insert into the first one, pull through, insert into the second one, pull through all 3, and that is the last decrease of the row. Then I'm going to insert my hook into the first decrease that we made and do a slip stitch. Then to start the next row, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And for the next row, we're going to do the same exact thing, decreasing at all 4 corners and doing half double crochets all around. And we need to do that 9 more times for a total of 10 rows of half double crochets. So for the second row, again, we're going to start off with a decrease. So insert into the first insert into the second, pull through all 3. Then we're going to continue our half double crochets until we reach the next corner. Here we are at the corner again. I'm going to do my decrease, insert 1, insert 2, pull through all 3, skipping that slip stitch into the next single crochet. We're going to insert 1, insert 2, then pull through all 3. Then again continuing our half double crochets until we reach the next corner, aka the side of the poncho. But I'm going to go ahead and finish all the rows off camera, and by the end of it you should have 10 rows of decreasing half double crochets. Here's what the rows look like all finished, and make sure to leave your yarn still attached. As you can see, it decreased up to the neck, and make sure you have 10 rows. That first row of single crochets that we did does not count, we're only counting the half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that is our 10 rows of half double crochets. Here's what it looks like on. Next we're going to add the turtleneck, but if you like it like this, you can totally stop here if you want. So to start the turtleneck, I'm going to start by chaining 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And here's what that chain looks like. And we're making it this long so that it can be a long turtleneck that folds over. But if you want it shorter, you can make it shorter. Next, I'm going to chain 1, and this is going to be our turning chain. Chain 1. And we're not going to work into this chain. This is just the turning chain. So into the next chain, I'm going to do a single crochet. That's 1 single crochet. Then we're going to do another single crochet and continue single crocheting all the way down, and we should have 30 single crochets for the 30 chain. Here I am finishing out the row, doing my last few single crochets. Make sure you're counting all of these single crochets to make sure you have 30, because the last chain 1 space that you're going to single crochet into is kind of hard to see. See, here I am finding that last space and squeezing my hook into it and doing my last single crochet. So make sure you have 30 single crochets. And then next we're going to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. And these are the tops of the half double crochets. So I'm going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet to finish out the row, and then slip stitch into the next one to start my next row. Then I'm going to turn my work, and we're just turning it. We're not doing a chain 1, we're just turning it. And we're going to work into the first single crochet that we see, and only into the back loops. So the last 2 slip stitches that we did, we're not working into those. We're working into the second loop on the first single crochet, as you can see. Only on the back loops I'm inserting and putting another single crochet. And we're going to work only in the back loops, doing single crochets all the way up until we have another row of 30 single crochets. Here I am finishing out the last few of the row, just showing you how it can be hard to see the last stitch to insert into, so that's why it's important to count and make sure you have 30. After that, we're going to chain 1, turn our work again, and then work back down. Again, only working into the back loops, we're going to do single crochets all the way down. And again, that chain one we just did is just a turning chain. Just doing single crochets only in the back loops all the way down, and make sure to count and make sure you have 30 single crochets. Right, just finishing out the row. And when we are slip stitching, make sure that you're slip stitching to the right space. See, this space right here is not the right space. That's where we inserted the row last time. It is actually the space next to it that we're slip stitching it to. So slip stitch into the first one to end the row, then slip stitch into the second one to start the next row, and then turn your work. And again, we're going to be single crocheting into the back loops, and do not do anything with the 2 slip stitches that we just did. Start with the last single crochet that we made. And we're just going to continue this pattern until we reach the very end. Right here I am coming up to my last row. Just doing my last few single crochets of this row. And then I'm going to show you how to attach the 2 sides. So I'm going to slip stitch into my last 2 chain spaces. And if for some reason you only have 1 space, you can just go ahead and slip stitch into that 1 space. Or if you have 3 spaces, same thing, go ahead and just go into those 3 spaces. Now I'm going to continue my single crochets all the way up this row as usual, and then when we start coming back down, that's when we're going to attach both sides. And I just finished the top of that row, and now I'm going to attach both sides. So we're going to start by chaining 1, then turning our work so that we can match up both of the edges. And then I'm going to start by inserting my hook into just the back loop, and then into the first chain, because remember we started with the chain and then slip stitch. Then again, I'm going to insert my hook into the back loop and then into the second chain and then slip stitch. So insert back loop, insert chain, then slip stitch through, and make sure your single crochets and your chain match up. And we're going to continue slip stitching until we reach the bottom to finish out our turtleneck. Here I am finishing the last slip stitch, and as you can see, since we finished that with a slip stitch, it perfectly matches the rest of the ribbing around the turtleneck. And now to finish up the row, I'm just going to chain 1 and cut. Again, here's what the turtleneck looks like, and to finish out the poncho, we're going to add a lacy trim to the bottom of the poncho. Instead of tying the yarn on, I'm going to make a slip knot for my hook. So I just make a circle with the yarn, then insert the yarn into the loop, pull through, then I'm just taking that loop off of my hook, and I'm actually going to insert my hook first. So this time I am going to insert my hook into the chain space right there. Then I attach my yarn, pull through, and chain 1. And then into that same space I'm going to do a single crochet. And I'm attaching this to one of the sides of the poncho again. And then I'm going to continue doing single crochets all the way around the poncho. Here I am at the next corner, and again I'm making sure to do a single crochet into the chain. Remember, before we didn't do any single crochets into the chain, this time we are. And just like last time, I'm going to do a slip stitch into that first single crochet of that other row. And then I'm going to do another single crochet into that first chain right here. And then continuing to do single crochets into the tops of every double crochets and to every single chain. Now I'm coming to the top of the corner, and just like I said before, we are still single crocheting into all of the double crochets and all of the chains. So there is a chain 2 space right here, and again I'm going to single crochet into both of the chains. And again, I'm going into the chain. I'm not just going under into the space. I'm going inside. And here I am again. This time I want to show you that if you can't see the chain space, just pull it out. You literally just pull it, and there it is. There's that chain space. I'm going to insert my single crochet, then do my slip stitch into that first single crochet of that row right there to attach it. Then continuing my single crochet again. And I think you've seen enough to get the gist of it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and skip to when this row is finished. Right here I am finishing up the row, doing my last few single crochets, doing my last single crochet right here into that chain space. Okay. And now I'm going to do my slip stitch again into that first single crochet of that row right there. And then I'm going to reach over and do another slip stitch into the first single crochet that we made of the row. And that's the end of this row. To start our next row, I'm going to start by chaining 1 and then turning our work. Then we are going to do a single crochet into the next space. As you can see, this space right there is just the slip stitches that we did. We are not working into those, we're working to the first single crochet that we see right here. We're going to do a single crochet, and then we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we are going to skip 2 spaces, 1, 2, and into the third space, we're going to do a double crochet. So wrap around, insert into the third space, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do a double crochet into the same space. And then again we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and again we're going to skip 2 spaces and insert into the third space. Into the third space we're going to do a single crochet this time. And here's what it's going to start to look like. So we're going to continue this pattern. So again we're going to start by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, skipping 2, inserting a double crochet into the third one, pull through 2, pull through 2, then chaining 1 and doing another double crochet into the same space. Then chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Skip 2 spaces again, into the third space, do a single crochet. Okay, and here's what it looks like when 2 little humps, I guess, are done. And again, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then skip 2, insert into the third, a double crochet, insert, pull through 2, pull through 2, chain 1, insert another double crochet into the same space, pull through 2, pull through 2, then chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, then skip 2 spaces and into the third one do another single crochet. And I'm just going to continue this pattern all the way around the poncho, but we are not counting any of the slip stitches that we did, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. So here I am working next to where that slip stitch is. You can see it's that tiny stitch right there. We are not counting that stitch. So I'm going to skip over it and only count the single crochets that I see. So here I am chaining my 3 and counting just the single crochets, not that slip stitch. So 1 single crochet, 2, and then the third one, and then I'm going to insert into the third one. So you're just going to continue this pattern all the way around and do not count any of the slip stitches, and I will meet you back here. So here I am at the end. All I need to do now is to attach it to the first little hump that we made. It does look like my last few single crochets, the numbers are off. I actually have 4 when I should have 3. So what I'm going to do is still single crochet into that third one. And then go ahead and slip stitch into the first single crochet that we made. And if your numbers are off, that's okay, but you just need to make sure that you end on a little hump. You can't end in the middle of making one, you have to make sure that it's finished. So if you need to change your numbers or do some decreases, that's fine, but just make sure you end on a little hump like this. So after I chained 1 and turned my work, I am going to slip stitch all the way up until I reach the double crochet. And this will be the final row of the poncho. So here I am at the double crochet. I'm just going to slip stitch at the top of that. And then I am going to make a single crochet into this chain 1 space right here. So insert, pull through 2 for a single crochet. Then I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to insert a single crochet again into the same space. And then I'm going to chain 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then again into that same space, I'm going to do another single crochet. And again, I'm going to chain 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then single crochet again into the same space. And it will start to make this flowery effect. So next I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then reach all the way over into that chain 1 space, into the next hump, and insert a single crochet. Then again, I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then insert a single crochet into the same space. Then chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then do another single crochet into the same space. Then again chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then single crochet into the same space again. And here's what the pattern will start to look like. I'm just going to continue doing this all the way around the poncho. So chain 4, insert into that chain 1 space right there, single crochet, chain 5, single crochet into the same space, chain 7, again single crochet into the same space, chain 5, again single crochet into the same space, and then chain 4 and attach to the next chain 1 space. Alright, now I've reached the end, and to finish it off I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then slip stitch into the first single crochet that was inserted into the chain 1 space right here. So right there I'm going to just slip stitch it, then chain 1 and cut. Right, now that all of the crocheting's done, the last thing to do is to weave in all of the loose ends. So I'm going to take a embroidery needle with a big little hole to insert the yarn into. And then I'm going to just sew it into itself. So I usually sew down into any one of the lines, I guess, and then sew back up the same way I sewed down, so then it's very secure. And then I just pull it up a little bit and cut it off. And here I'm doing the same thing to the back of all the granny squares. You can see me cutting off some of the loose ends that I already weaved in. They just have a little bit of extra tail left. Those ones were already weaved in, so I'm just cutting off the extra. This one I'm going to have to sew in. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this to all of my loose ends, and then the poncho is finally done. So here's how the poncho turned out. I am really happy with the results. I love how the turtleneck looks. And this will be a made-to-order item on my Etsy if anyone would like to purchase it. I can also do custom colors. Just send me a message. And I will have a link to my Etsy in my description.